First off, Jodi, what's causing the increased global reliance of China's vaccines? Partly, I'm imagining this has to do with the situation in India.
That's right, Heidi. With India having a record 412,000 infections in the past day alone, that has really, changed the focus there. They were going to be a vaccine provider to the world, and now they are in a situation where they are, just overcome with the number of COVID infections. So taking them out of the equation, at least for the short run, and no one else has really stepped up to take the place that China has been, been able to really take in that global sort of sense. The U.S. wants to now be sending more vaccines around the world. It has asked for, the Biden administration has said it will support a waiver of patent rules to allow that to happen. But that takes a long time. That has to go through the WTO, the World Trade Organization. They have to negotiate with others. And Angela Merkel's government today said they're not necessarily going to support that waiver. So in the meantime, China looks to be the only vaccine that a lot of places in the world are going to get, places as varied as Uruguay, Senegal, and Indonesia, for instance. There are questions about the effectiveness of the Chinese vaccines, given that they have not had the same regulatory scrutiny as the Western vaccines. But at the same time, these countries that have a big need to be vaccinated and few options are turning increasingly to China.
Jodi, could this change if the move to waive patents on COVID vaccines takes hold of the WTO?
Yeah, it could change, but it is going to take a while. That WTO fight could take months if there is a real fight, and there may well be. So this is not something that, someone's going to be able to step up very quickly. And as we're seeing with India, when you have a player like that come out of that equation, there really isn't anything to fill it in the short run. So for now, it looks like that China will be able to maintain that position, at least in the short run, although that could change in coming months.
So we know that in India, not only are we seeing, as you say, over 400,000 daily cases, they're also struggling to keep track of the variants as well, all the new variants. So are there any, epidemiological models that show us about when we could potentially see a peak?
Yeah, there's been new modeling, and it is a little bit hopeful in that it looks like it would be in May, but at the same time, you have a very small percentage of the population they're vaccinated, and that is really what has allowed the U.S. to get ahead of not only COVID cases, but of those variants. When you have more people vaccinated and vaccinated across, the country, that really helps. That is not the case in India, where they're holding at about 5% of the population being vaccinated right now. And again, those record number of deaths, we've seen 300,000 cases in the last 15 days. We've seen 300,000 cases for the past 15 days every day, with 21 million total. And that even if that declines, even if it hits a peak, that's still a large number. And the real question, again, is the variants and how quickly they are spreading.